My beloved child, wait, don't look away yet, because what you are about to hear feels impossible until the final piece falls into place. Your soulmate reached a moment where questions became louder than silence. Instead of trusting rumors, fear, or assumptions, they made one decision that changed everything. They hired a detective to uncover the truth they could never ask you directly. Every page of that investigation carried another surprise, but nothing prepared them for the final report. It did not expose betrayal. It did not reveal deception. Instead, it uncovered a story of misunderstood moments, silent sacrifices, and feelings that had survived every distance between you. The closer the investigation came to its end, the more your soulmate realized that the person they had been searching for was never truly lost. Don't skip, because the final discovery turned doubt into certainty, and something huge is waiting for you before this story reaches its next chapter. The detective followed every clue, every forgotten memory, and every unexpected connection. One by one, the assumptions that had kept your soulmate awake at night quietly disappeared. The report described kindness where others expected selfishness, loyalty where others predicted disappointment, and hope where everyone else saw an ending. Then came a single sentence that changed the entire investigation forever. It revealed that the strongest connection between two hearts had never been broken. It had simply been hidden beneath timing, confusion, and unanswered questions. Suddenly, every painful goodbye looked different, every silence gained a new meaning, and every coincidence seemed to fit together like pieces of a puzzle that had always belonged in the same place. Stay till the end, because this is only the beginning of a revelation that no one expected. As your soulmate closed the final page, everything inside them became quieter than ever before. The search they believed would end their hope unexpectedly gave them a brand new reason to believe. They understood that some answers cannot be forced, but they can be discovered when the truth finally has room to speak. The report did not predict the future, yet it completely changed how they saw it. What happens next could become the most unexpected chapter of this entire journey, because once the truth replaces fear, every decision begins to move in a different direction. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next moment may reveal why this investigation was never really about finding evidence. It was about finding the courage to believe what had been hidden in plain sight all along. A strange feeling settled over your soulmate after reading the report. For the first time in a long while, they stopped listening to outside opinions and started listening to their own heart. Every conversation they had replayed in their mind with a completely different meaning. They realized that the moments they once called distance were often silent acts of patience, and the moments they believed were goodbye may have simply been life asking both of you to grow. The detective had uncovered facts, but those facts awakened emotions that could no longer be ignored. Don't skip, because the next discovery was even more unexpected. Something huge is waiting for you, and every second brings this story closer to its turning point. Then another sealed envelope caught your soulmate's attention. It was marked as a personal observation rather than official evidence. Inside was a simple conclusion: not every meaningful connection can be measured by photographs, messages, or timelines. Sometimes the strongest truth is found in consistency, the way two lives continue crossing paths despite every obstacle. Those words echoed in your soulmate's heart long after the report was finished. Suddenly, they began noticing signs they had ignored for months. Familiar places felt different. Ordinary days carried unusual peace. Even memories that once brought sadness now carried quiet hope. Stay till the end, because what seemed impossible yesterday was beginning to feel surprisingly close today. With the investigation finally complete, your soulmate faced the biggest decision of all. The report had answered every question except one: what should happen next? No detective could make that choice. No document could write the next chapter. Only courage could. As they looked toward the future, fear slowly gave way to determination. They understood that truth is valuable only when someone is brave enough to act on it. Don't skip, because the journey is far from over. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next chapter may reveal the first step your soulmate decides to take after discovering the truth that changed everything. A quiet morning arrived, yet your soulmate could not stop thinking about one unanswered detail hidden between the lines of that report. It wasn't a dramatic revelation or a shocking headline, it was a simple pattern the detective had noticed. Every time life seemed to push both of you in different directions, something unexpected always brought your paths back into the same story. That observation refused to leave their mind. They began wondering whether those moments were random, or whether they had been overlooking something meaningful all along. Don't skip, because the next discovery is where everything starts to shift. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The more your soulmate reflected, the more they realized that fear had been writing a story that was never completely true. The detective hadn't found proof that hope was gone. Instead, the report showed missed opportunities, misunderstood conversations, and silent moments where both hearts may have been feeling the same emotions without knowing it. Suddenly, memories that once felt painful became reminders that the connection had survived every misunderstanding. It was as if the final report had removed a veil from their eyes. They no longer wanted to chase assumptions. They wanted clarity. They wanted honesty. Most of all, they wanted to discover whether the future could still be different from the past. Don't look away now, because the biggest realization is still ahead. As the report was carefully placed back into its envelope, your soulmate made a promise to themselves. They would no longer let unanswered questions control their future. Every page they had read pointed toward one powerful truth: genuine connections cannot be erased by confusion alone. They may become quiet, but they don't disappear so easily. A new chapter was beginning, not because fate forced it, but because truth had finally replaced uncertainty. Stay till the end, because what happens next could become the moment that changes everything. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next chapter will reveal the unexpected decision your soulmate is finally ready to make. Everything changed the moment your soulmate noticed one final attachment tucked behind the detective's report. It had been overlooked at first, almost as if it was waiting for the right moment to be discovered. It wasn't a collection of evidence or another timeline. It was a handwritten conclusion that simply said, the greatest misunderstanding was never between two people, it was between fear and truth. Those words echoed through their heart with incredible force. In that instant, they realized how many beautiful possibilities had been delayed because of silent assumptions. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because this realization opened a door they never thought still existed. From that day forward, your soulmate began looking at life through completely different eyes. They stopped asking, "What if it's too late?" and started asking, "What if this is only the beginning?" Every ordinary moment suddenly carried extraordinary meaning. Familiar places reminded them of hope instead of regret. Quiet evenings no longer felt empty, they became opportunities to prepare for a future they had almost stopped believing in. The detective had completed the investigation, but the report had started something much greater, a transformation inside your soulmate's heart. They understood that the strongest answers are not always found in evidence. Sometimes they appear the moment someone chooses faith over fear and truth over doubt. Don't skip, because the next step is more unexpected than anything the report revealed. As the sun slowly disappeared beyond the horizon, your soulmate carefully closed the file for the very last time. There was nothing left to investigate, yet everything important was just beginning. They knew they could never change yesterday, but tomorrow was still unwritten. For the first time in a long while, they smiled with quiet confidence, believing that some stories survive every obstacle because they were never meant to end halfway through. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next chapter will reveal the surprising action your soulmate decides to take after trusting the truth instead of the fear that once held them back. A few days passed, but the detective's report never left your soulmate's thoughts. Instead of hiding it away, they kept returning to one page that seemed ordinary at first glance. The final paragraph wasn't about evidence. It was about timing. It suggested that sometimes people spend so much energy searching for proof that they forget to notice the quiet moments life places directly in front of them. That single idea stayed with your soulmate everywhere they went. Every sunrise felt like a fresh beginning. Every unexpected coincidence carried a deeper meaning. They no longer believed the story was over. They believed it had been preparing for a brand new chapter all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next discovery arrived when they least expected it. One afternoon, while organizing everything from the investigation, your soulmate found a small note that had slipped between two pages. It wasn't written by the detective. There was no signature, no explanation, only one powerful sentence: "The truth you've been searching for has been walking beside you longer than you realize." Those words stopped them completely. They replayed countless memories, remembering moments they once ignored because they seemed too ordinary to matter. Suddenly, those ordinary moments became extraordinary. Every smile, every chance encounter, every conversation they had almost forgotten now seemed connected by an invisible thread. It was as though the entire journey had been guiding them toward one unforgettable realization: that genuine connections grow stronger through honesty, patience, and understanding, even when the path seems uncertain. Don't skip, because what comes next is the most unexpected turn yet. That evening, your soulmate looked toward the future with a confidence they had not felt in a very long time. They finally understood that the detective had not changed destiny. The report had simply revealed a truth that had been waiting to be seen. Fear no longer controlled their decisions. Questions no longer carried the same weight. Instead, hope quietly took their place. With a calm heart and a clear mind, they prepared to take the first real step toward the future they had almost given up on. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next chapter begins with a decision that has the power to change everything forever. Late that night, your soulmate made a decision they had postponed for far too long. They placed the detective's report on the table, took one deep breath, and asked themselves a question that could no longer be avoided: if the truth has finally been revealed, what am I waiting for? The silence that followed felt different. It wasn't empty, it was peaceful. For the first time, they stopped searching for another clue because they realized the investigation had already given them the answer they needed. The report had uncovered honesty instead of suspicion, patience instead of distance, and hope instead of disappointment. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next moment became the beginning of a completely different journey. The following morning, something unexpected happened. Your soulmate received a call from the detective. There was no new evidence and no hidden file. The detective simply said, after completing hundreds of investigations, I have learned that facts can explain the past, but only courage can create the future. Those words lingered long after the conversation ended. Your soulmate realized they had spent so much time looking backward that they had almost forgotten to look ahead. They no longer wanted another report, another opinion, or another confirmation. They wanted to move forward with a heart free from fear. Every page of the investigation had led to this single realization: the strongest connections are built when truth is finally allowed to replace doubt. Don't skip, because the greatest surprise is still waiting just beyond this moment. As the sun began to set, your soulmate carefully locked the investigation file away, not because it no longer mattered, but because it had already fulfilled its purpose. The search for answers had ended, and the search for a new beginning had quietly begun. Their heart felt lighter than it had in years, filled with a confidence that no report could ever fully describe. They understood that some stories are not remembered because of the mystery they contain, but because of the courage that follows the truth. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next chapter will reveal the unexpected step your soulmate takes after choosing hope over hesitation, and that single decision changes everything in ways no detective could have predicted. A week later, just when your soulmate believed every mystery had been solved, one final message arrived from the detective. It wasn't labeled as evidence. It wasn't marked as urgent. Across the top were the words, "Final observation." Curious, your soulmate opened it immediately. The note explained that during the entire investigation, one thing had remained remarkably consistent. No matter how many directions the search expanded, every meaningful conclusion somehow led back to the same person, you. That wasn't presented as destiny or certainty. It was simply the pattern the detective had observed after reviewing every conversation, every timeline, and every detail. Your soulmate sat in complete silence, realizing that the answer they had searched for had been standing in front of them all along. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As those words settled into their heart, everything that once felt confusing became unexpectedly clear. Your soulmate no longer wanted to spend another day wondering, what if? They understood that fear had already stolen enough time. The detective had finished the assignment, but the report had awakened something far greater, a quiet confidence that truth deserves action. Every chapter of the investigation pointed toward the same lesson: assumptions create distance, while honesty creates understanding. For the first time in a very long while, your soulmate wasn't planning another search. They were preparing for a conversation they had imagined countless times but never believed would truly happen. The thought alone filled them with equal parts excitement and hope. Don't skip, because the next decision could become the turning point of this entire story. Standing beneath the evening sky, your soulmate folded the final observation and placed it beside the original report. They smiled, not because every question had been answered, but because they finally understood which questions no longer mattered. The search had never been about proving someone's worth. It had been about discovering the courage to trust what the truth had already revealed. A gentle sense of peace replaced every lingering doubt, and with that peace came one unforgettable decision: to stop hiding behind uncertainty and start walking toward a future built on honesty and hope. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next chapter begins with the first real step your soulmate is finally ready to take, and nothing will ever feel the same again. The next morning felt unlike any other. Your soulmate woke up with a calm they had not experienced in years. The detective's report was no longer a file filled with unanswered questions. It had become a reminder that truth has a quiet way of revealing itself when the time is right. As they looked through the final pages one last time, they noticed a small detail they had overlooked before. Every major turning point in the investigation happened after someone chose honesty over fear. That realization stayed with them all day. It wasn't coincidence anymore. It was a lesson they could no longer ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the most surprising chapter hasn't even begun. Hours later, while organizing everything, your soulmate discovered a sealed envelope hidden inside the investigation folder. Across the front were the words, "Open only after you have accepted the truth." Their hands trembled with anticipation as they carefully unfolded the letter. Inside was a single paragraph from the detective: "My work was never to decide your future. My responsibility was only to separate facts from assumptions. After reviewing everything, I found no evidence that your connection was built on illusion. What I found instead was a story interrupted by timing, silence, and misunderstanding. If you choose to move forward, let it be because you trust the truth. Not because you fear losing it." Those words struck deeper than any previous page. In that moment, your soulmate realized they had been waiting for certainty, when what they truly needed was courage. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because one final decision is about to rewrite everything. As evening arrived, your soulmate quietly folded the letter and placed it beside the report for the very last time. They smiled, not because every mystery had disappeared, but because they finally understood that no investigation could replace a sincere heart. The search had reached its end, but a brand new beginning was standing right in front of them. With renewed confidence, they prepared to take the first genuine step toward a future no longer controlled by doubt. They knew that whatever happened next would not be based on rumors, fear, or assumptions. It would be built on honesty, hope, and the truth they had finally embraced. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because the next chapter reveals the unexpected response that changes both of your lives forever.